My name is Akhil. I am the founder of Product Space, and we are in the market for almost 4 years. We've been kind of running a lot of workshops and programs to help working professionals upskill in terms of what's going in the market and ensuring you guys are kind of up to date, right? And what this entire bootcamp is like to basically increase awareness about okay what entire AI landscape is, which I'm sure everyone has gotten a decent gist in terms of what we have gone through in yesterday's session. And today, what we're going to do is like we will not spend much time around theory because we have to build two agents, and trust me, 2 hours is going to be less in terms of doing it. I'll try sharing my prompts and the detailed resources that you would need. So we'll also share in the end as in how can you get access to the detailed resources as well. So all right, there we can get started. Awesome. So folks, I'll try it because yeah, we're going to build in. So for sure, the session is going to be quite interactive and quite engaging. I would just recommend everyone, since we have, I think, initial 5 to 10 minutes of understanding the basics. I'm sure you would have at least tried N8N, and if not, let me get the vibe of the entire session, and let's start with these, kind of first session. So let's understand. You can revert in the chat. Just trying to understand, like, have you created AI agents earlier? So you can basically mention yes or no in the chat. All right, all right. Oh, is it? One out of so many folks. Okay, Sheikh has done Telegram bot. Yeah, we're not going to do it today. Have made using relevance. Yeah, that's like quite baseline. Awesome. Oh, is it? I think this session is then going to be lot of value add for everyone. Naveen, for sure, from the next boot camp that we'll plan, for sure, we'll have it on Zoom. Awesome. Sheikh has created it. Okay. We might need Sheikh your collaboration to build a lot of new agents. Okay, awesome. Thanks for folks for sharing your answers. Now, this is one final question from mine, then we can get started. So basically, how comfortable are you on a scale of 1 to 5? 5 means like too comfortable in building agents from scratch. Like, when I say building agents from scratch, if someone is just throwing a problem statement to you, you can just go ahead on your own, and you don't need probably a YouTube tutorial or any videos, because that is probably simply pump and dump you're doing, right? So, okay. All right, we got 1, 0. Okay, Murli, we don't have 0 on the scale, but thanks for sharing it. All right. Great. All right. I think thanks, folks, for sharing your responses. Right. Okay. This is a quick recap of what we have gone through yesterday. So I think you all have now a fair understanding of like what artificial intelligence is basically about, this entire kind of domain wherein machines have intelligence. And from there, we've moved into machine learning, and from machine learning, we've ventured into deep learning, and each of basically are the subset of the previous ones. And currently we are in the generative AI era, and you had like decent idea and understanding in terms of how LLMs work yesterday. And today we're going to go a little further within generative AI. There's another ecosystem which is known as Agentic AI. So we're going to kind of have basic understanding about it, and then we'll start building 2-3 agents, right? About the agenda of this session, so we'll basically understand okay what Agentic AI is. I have 2 to 3 agents already built up, and we're going to also try replicating it in this session. One of the agent is code-based agent. That is something we generally do it on our advanced AI program. So I'll also show you as in terms of how that works, and we can interact with that as well, right? And we're going to do 2 live agents building, right? So that's about the agent of the workshop, right? So if I have to just explain you what agentic AI in a very basic terminology, I'm sure all of you have for sure used GPT, right? So what you do on GPT, you simply ask it something and it reverts it, right? But everything just stays within that ecosystem, right? Agentic AI are basically type of an ecosystem who just don't think or create different type of content, but they have the ability to perform certain tasks on your behalf, right? And they could be, like independent digital workers. You can delegate various type of tasks to. All right. And if we move further, what are the core components of agentic AI? The primary component is LLMs, which are kind of acting as a brain or decision maker, which try to basically make sense of the system messages or system prompts or user instructions. And then we have another component, memory as well, and another component, tools as well, right? So I'll explain all of these basically components when we'll start doing live building. If I'll have to just explain you, okay, what memory is. So basically, see, when you do a lot of tasks on your own, right? A lot of these tasks doesn't require you to refer to the previous conversation or the previous context that has already been happened, right? So in the single workflow or single action agents, you don't really need memories. But for example, let's say you want to build a chatbot, right? So if you're building a chatbot, every next conversation has some kind of context from the previous messages exchanged, right? So in that case, you need memory, right? So we're going to see, we're going to try if we could probably preserve memories while we are building these agents. Tools are something, if I can give you an example, I'm sure many of you have understood that GPTs are not trained on the latest data. In fact, there are like a lot of ecosystems which doesn't allow GPTs or LLMs to kind of scrape their data or their information, right? So the moment you want to give additional capabilities to your agentic workflows, that is where you use tools, right? So for example, let's say you want to build an agent which gives you every day latest news about what's happening in AI, right? And that is something GPTs are not trained on. They are, let's say, trained on the data till 2023, right? But if you are looking to get some recent information which is happening in the market, you would want to give them a capability wherein they could scrape the web, or they can probably make sense of Google results and all, right? So that is what basically tools do. So we'll go ahead and we'll do a quick demo from here onwards, right? So, and then I think in next 5 minutes, once we have done the demo of these agents, right? So please, follow, I would say, agent by agent. First, we're going to see what these agents could do, and then we'll start the building process, right? All right. Okay. So this is basically the collab book that we generally use on our sessions, right? And yeah, it's like too much code and GitHub connections and all. We're not going to go into that, but I'll just quickly explain. This is more of a career agent. What this agent does, you can ask really all and every query that you have about probably if you're stuck, okay, how can I become an AI PM, right? Or how can I clear this interview, right? So let's start with it. You give me your queries, I'll ask the similar queries, and let's see how this agent acts on, right? And then similarly, we're going to do the demo of another two agents as well. And that's where we get started, right? So let me understand, okay, what are your biggest career challenges are right now? What are the challenges that you're facing? It could be even you applying to 2,000 LinkedIn jobs and not getting a short list. Yeah. All right, so let's get to the demo. We'll see how can we share the notebook and all. Yeah. About sharing the resources, we'll probably come to end. All right, let's hear what is the challenge. How to become junior AI engineer in London? Okay, that's an interesting question. Let me ask this. Let me run the agent. Okay, so my task is this: how to become junior AI engineer in London. Let it act on it. Okay, so it has acted on it and it has given you all the information, right? Becoming a junior AI engineer in London involves several steps, including acquiring the right education and all, right? You have to develop key skills, gain experience, networking, job application, right? It has listed, right? So I hope you got the answer, Saransh, right? Okay, now the how to become an AI PM and growth. Okay, that's an interesting question. Let's take that question and then see. Like, I'm going to clear the output, clear output, and I'm going to run it again. I'll just stop this, run the cell again. How to become AI PM and growth. It might not understand, okay, what AI PM literally is, but let's see what is it, it's fundamental understanding of these keywords, right? Okay, all right, so it's given, okay, becoming an AI product manager in growth involves a mix of skills, right? So it has given you a GPT like, kind of experience. So basically you can also see why I'm showing you this, because learning no code is great, like a lot of entry level companies or startups, right? You would have access to these tools, but the moment you would go into, I would say, more secure organizations, or where the data is like quite critical, it might not be recommended that you simply use probably non-secure ecosystems and all. And that's where having a little bit comfort around these ecosystems are really, really important, right? So I've just given that one demo. We'll quickly, we're not going to build this agent because it's going to take like 3 to 4 hours of session, but we'll go to Anything now, which I think many of you have shown your interest to kind of try and build in this session, right? Okay. The next two agents that we're going to try is the stock analyzer, right? And then beyond it, the next agent that we're going to build is video to blog generator, right? So you can basically pick any video from YouTube and you can convert it into a blog specific content, right? So let's talk about the stock analyzer first. So what you can do is in the chat, you can give me the stock name, okay? And you can give me the mail ID, right? So I'm going to run that analysis and agent, right? And it should send you the entire recommendation, all the details in your mail, right? So let's try that. Along with the stock name, I would also need your mail ID, because if you want that mail to be on your probably mailbox, right? Otherwise, I can anyway receive it, so I'll share it on mine. Okay, Murli wants to know about Avanti feeds, right? Okay, I think Tata Motors is something a lot of you would be interested. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and activate the workflow. I'll see where this is. Okay, this is my workflow for this, and for this to act on, let me see.
Before we start actually building this, if we can go over to LinkedIn as well. So
yeah. All right. Okay, so what I'll have to do is I'll have to send the mail here, and along with you, I'll also receive the mail in case you deny that you have not received it, right? So yeah, let's run this workflow. And I think I have taken Gautam's request, right? So Gautam, you can let me know if you've received the mail. Sometimes it fails as well, but let's hope that this works. Okay, let's wait for it to run. It takes a little bit of time to do the brainstorming and figuring out, okay, I think everything is done now. Gautam, you can confirm if you have received the mail. And yeah, this is the Tata Motors stock that you wanted, right? So this is the mail that I've got and I've received. I think this was also sent to you as well, right? So I'm sure you'd have got it. You can confirm in the chat, right? And the stock analysis, and this is for, I think, today's date, something like that. Yeah. And key performance indicators, signal summary. So the recommendation is buy. If anyone else wants to try on their stock, I'm happy to try that. You can share your preferred stock. There's 1 second. I'll just quickly grab water. All right. So NSDL. All right. Okay, Mano, really want to know about NVIDIA. Let me try for NVIDIA if it works or not. 1 second. NVIDIA share price. I need to just take stock ticker. I have to update here, and I have all the details. Now, Manav, you also need the mail as well, right? So just quickly update your, where's your mail went? 1 second, here it is. All right, now I'll just update your mail in the flow. You can also set these values dynamically, but in the interest of time, I had to keep this as a manual field. Okay, let it run. You can confirm in the chat. I think, Gautam, I'm sure you've received the Tata Motors recommendations, right? Okay, all right. Awesome. Okay, I think it worked. It sent me the recommendation of Tesla, and you can see this. It is also sent to Manav. And okay, sorry, this is for NVIDIA, my bad. Yeah, and the recommendation is still to buy, right? So yeah, I think this is how this specific agent works. This one is something we're going to build together, so don't worry if you have a lot of questions. Awesome. Yeah, guys. Okay, let me give you a disclaimer. These are not stock recommendations. It's purely for learning purpose. We're not entitled to give any financial advice to anyone, right? So it's good to give that disclaimer. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Okay. Cool. Okay, all right. Now, what we're going to do is now that we're also going to look into the next agent as well, which what this agent does is like it takes the YouTube video, right? And I would recommend you look for any specific YouTube video that you would really be interested to create a blog content, right? And you give me the YouTube video URL and the mail ID in the chat, right? And I'll go ahead and run the flow. And what this flow would do, the specific kind of, you'll get a mail, something like this. We are going to, I was just trying, yeah, something like that. Yeah. So you get the mail for blogs like this, along with an image as well, right? So yeah, these images, yeah, yeah, learning plus compounding growth, right? So you can give me a YouTube video, okay, how to use these system in the financial organizations like so you have to check Siddharth. I'm assuming your name is Siddharth because they've only written sit that if they support a no code building, right? And if not, then I'm sure they would be having like their internal tech stack, or they'll be using GitHub Copilot, right, to do it. All right, awesome. Okay, Siam has given me a YouTube video. Let me quickly verify what this video is about, and then um, okay, mobile phone addiction is okay. This is an interesting video, and yeah, again the ad has come in. Let me quickly just give me 1 second. Let me set things up. Okay, yeah. You guys, okay, all right. I'll wait for others to also share their mail ID and also their, all right, what is Git? Okay, let me see. So I'm just trying for something which is like around 10 minutes or 5 minutes of video. So please share the video lengths, because if you have longer video length, you might have to use like more advanced models. And in such cases, you would really need kind of the model which would have higher token limits, right? So what we're going to do now is, okay, let me, okay, 1 second. I got a couple of videos. Guys, just give me 1 minute. Let me take this link and put it in the flow. Just give me 1 second. All right, let me, instead of that, okay, let's build this video, which I'm sharing in the chat, right, for everyone. I think some of you have shared it, which is basically how to reprogram your dopamine to crave hard work, right? Yeah, something I'm not sure everyone would want to hear, right? But yeah, let's try with this video. Yeah. All right, now let me share the workflow. Screen is freezing. Yeah, I have not changed the screen yet. I'll just go to the workflow and I'll share my screen, video to blog generator. Okay, I'll just add the video URL here, and I'll probably, yeah, for now, let me only receive it on my mail, right? And because I could then share it with everyone, right? Okay, now let this flow run. Let's hope that it doesn't fail, but if the time remains, like, because we have a hard stop at 8, we'll also try building this agent as well, right? Awesome. All right. Okay. It has got the transcript now. It is converting that transcript to a blog, and this is converting on the basis of this exhaustive prompt that I've given, and yeah, everything so far worked well. And now I'm generating image, right? Because you would need kind of image as well while you're posting the blogs, and everything worked well. Let me see if I received the mail. Okay, it's still loading. 1 second. Looks like I didn't receive it. Give me 1 second. Let me see if everything is working fine. Yeah, I think I should receive it. Oh, 1 second, folks. Okay, I received it. Okay, all right. Yeah. So as I shared that YouTube kind of URL as well, right? So harnessing dopamine for deep focus and flow state, right? Yeah. neuroscience backed guide, right? So it gave you, kind of everything that was there in that podcast or a video, right? It converted to a blog content, right? And it also gave you a, relative image as well, right? Reset your brain, right? Make work as um regarding as video app. Okay, sorry, this is like not, I'm not able to read this. Yeah, this is something probably, yeah, these image models need some version changes still, but yeah, we could see that, right? We are able to create these entire blogs, right? So, okay. Yes, we might try it. It'll depend on the time, right? But before we get started, I have, kind of a small request for everyone. I'm sure we are trying our best to ensure everyone is having the great learnings, right? And I've recently, like, done the post about this complete AI bootcamp, right? So we'll take a quick 2 minutes time, and I would request everyone to kind of, share their, kind of yesterday session experience, right? And in the meantime, I'm collecting all these documents, which is required for you to build it along with me, right? So we're going to do it together. It's just like a, if you are probably getting the values from these sessions, right? So, kind of, if you are open to share your experience on the post that we have done, right? So basically, we also need your support. And awesome. How do we send our LinkedIn feedback of the learnings of the workshop to get the certificates? Yeah, we will share all about certificates and getting, I would say, detailed resources as we go along, right? Yeah, about the recordings as well, everything I think is part of the resource only. We will try. Okay, but in the meantime, let's take a quick 2 minutes break, and we would really love your support. We definitely are doing these workshops for free, and we will assure that you get the value. But it's a small request, if you can share your feedback of last two sessions, sorry, last one session and today. I'm sure you've seen the demo, right? So these agents you're going to build along with me, right? So this building stock analyzer agent, you can type probably one, or you want to build video to blog generator, can type. Awesome, thanks, Omar. Yeah, if you could just leave your feedback on LinkedIn, would really be a great support for us. Okay. All right. It's more of a tie so far. Okay, one, we have more stock fans. Interesting. Oh, Sai, great. Wow. We have done this quite a lot already in our college ecosystem. Awesome. I think let's start with, my best would be to ensure that we build both agents, but let's start with stock analyzer, right? So let me share my screen, and I hope you all have, done us a small favor. All right. So you would have seen that, this entire workflow, um, you can parallelly open your notebook as well on, if you look into this notebook of this, right? So here the trigger is a Google Sheet, right? Because for this agent to run, I would need certain information, which I could have also fetched via APIs, but in the interest of time, I really liked Google Sheets finance features, right? And that's where I could really get all the information super fast, right? And there are like different ways wherein you can also create a front end of it, or you're sending a stock picker name from Telegram or WhatsApp, like the different ways in which you can really implement it. But what we're going to go into is like look into this sheet, right? And that is where I have to add the stock picker name, right? Based on this, these functions are already added here, right? You can see all the functions are already added, and all these values are kind of captured in real time, right? So I'm going to share this sheet with everyone whoever is building with me. You can just duplicate this sheet, all right? And whoever is not able to build with me, it's okay. You just see what's happening. We will share all these resources. In fact, a detailed guide as well, right? For the folks like who can do it later. Okay, awesome. So what you have to do is like click on this sheet and then duplicate this, right, in your respective Google account that you're comfortable connecting with anytime. All right. Now, once we have the sheet, because why I'm sharing this sheet, so that you don't have to basically write all of these functions on your own, and everything would be kind of ready-made. Awesome. So I'm assuming everyone is able to reach to this sheet. Awesome. Next, what you have to do is like, since we're going to create this again, so I'm going to open up the you know uh, new workflow. We're going to build this from scratch, right? So let me start from scratch. All right, so I'll go here and I'll click on create workflow. All right, and I'll give it a name, stock analyzer demo. All right. And okay, this is more of a workflow that we are creating, right? And every workflow needs to have a trigger, right? And that trigger could be chat based, could be a request coming from the website, or any changes happened in your database, right? So you could have different, or even a manual trigger as well, or you want to probably create an agent which just summarizes all your 100 mails every day at 8 a.m., right? So you can also schedule your trigger as well, right? In this case, since we have the information on Google Sheet, right? So we're going to use Google Sheet as a trigger, right? So we're just going to click here, right? And I'm going to search for Google Sheets, right? That is it. And within this, we have to, so it'll give you multiple options, right? We don't have to select this because these are the actions which you can really do in Google Sheets, right? But we want to look for a trigger, because if we don't have a trigger, our workflow won't be able to initiate it, right? So we want to kind of, run a trigger whenever any row is added in that sheet, right? So this is very simple. What you have to do here, from here, you have to, I've already created these accounts. Click on create new credential. You have to connect it with an account where you already have that Google Sheet. All right. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to see which account it is into. Yeah, I have just simply kind of, done that sign in process here. And now I'll come back to this because I have done that OAuth and my account is connected. This is fine, right? Here, I think for now we'll leave it to kind of, let's say every hour or every day, right? So you don't have to do other changes. Basically, if you want this flow to run every day, because you're going to create a probably a stock analyzer, right? So definitely, at least on all work days, you would want that trigger to come at least at 8:30 a.m. or 9 a.m., right? So before the stock market is kind of, starting or opening up, right? You would be ready with your insights as well, right? So we're not going to touch it, but it's up to you. How do you want to kind of customize it based on your use cases, right? And here, we have connected to our account. Next is like which sheet we want to look into, right? So we're going to look into that stock agent. So this is one, and within stock agent document, which sheet you want to refer to, right? Right now, I think I have only one sheet. So you have to click here and your sheet would be connected, right? Now, after once you've basically added a specific node, it's very much important that you run this, basically that specific node, so that you understand that node is working properly. So I'll click on fetch test event, fetching event. It already fetched, right? If you could go to our sheet, you can see that NVIDIA details were already mentioned here, right? Since on NVIDIA details were already there, yeah, it already fetched all the details and we could verify like, all this information is there, right? Now, I want to quickly go to chat, right? And if anyone has any queries till this point, you can write in the chat. We'll take those queries and then we move to the next step in the flow. It's all right if you don't have any query. That's I would say a good win, right? Okay, awesome. Now coming back to this flow, right? Once you have this information, right? So how does traditional stock investment works, right? You are trying to basically rely on someone who already knows how to read all these complex maths that you'd have seen, like EPS, PE ratio, or share price, a lot of these technical terms, right? So you basically consult with someone who understands this market, and based on specific, let's say, formulas or approaches, right, they then take a decision, okay, whether they want to stay invested or, let's say, get out of the market or wait for the stop loss to hit, right? So who's going to take that place here, right? That place is going to be then taken by AI agent, right, which is then going to act on a predefined formula to then tell us, okay, for this specific kind of stock, do we want to kind of hold it, do we want to buy it, or do we want to probably sell it, right? So now let's go ahead, click on this plus and click on AI agent. So I've added this as a brain, right? So you would have seen this flow is, sorry, is here, right? Okay. Now, this is basically what Agentic AI is. You would have looked into that slide that I talked about. The critical components of any agent are these three, right? Chat model, because this is something which will give it some kind of a brain, right? So it can act on your information, it can do that decision making and then figure out what to be done next, or can give you certain type of recommendations, right? Memory is something we talked about, wherein if you want in your, let's say, all the future flows, right? If you just want to kind of look into what has happened in the past, then you would want to save your previous interactions Tools are something if you want to give it like, let's say, you want to read everyday NSE data, right? So you can probably look for web scraping tools, which like helps you get that data in real time in terms of how much selling happened and all, right? So we're not going into that depth, but I'm just letting you know, you can really make this as a full-fledged agent for your learning purpose if you would want to do that, right? So for now, let's quickly add this chat model. So I'm quite comfortable working with OpenAI. So I'll just select this model. I'll work on it, right? I already have my accounts connected. What you can do is, if you don't have your account selected, you can click on create new credentials, right? And you can go to this URL, which I'm just sharing in the chat. Give me 1 second. If you have, I think OpenAI gives you some credit. You can go here, you can click on API keys, or I'll just also give you a walkthrough of that. Just give me 1 second. All right. Yeah, you can basically go here. I have like a lot of API keys. Okay, sorry. Let me do this again. Okay. Once you have basically done the sign in, you'll land onto this page. Here you can click on a specific API key. Let's say test key, right? And you just click on this. You'll get an API key. Copy this, and you go to this same agent, right? And you copy paste this here, and you click on save. If everything is fine, your connections would be successful, right? But I'm not using this account. I'm using different account which I already had earlier working, right? And I would want to work on, okay, let's not tweak around the models, because the use case is quite simple, right? Knowing more around model technicalities would not help us right now a lot, right? But doing LLM evaluation is something which is very, very critical depending on the use cases, because there are like thousands of LLM models are out there in the market. How do you decide which is the best one for your use cases? Many of you who have created agents, I'm sure you would have kind of had issues that if your transcript is basically, let's say, of 60 minutes, right? Your model is not working, right? Because it has the token limit set, right? So there are like different parameters on which you need to really understand like how these LLMs are working and which models are the right ones to select. And there's a lot more to this AI world beyond GPT's Perplexity and Claude, right? I'll talk about it probably in the end if we get time, right? But for the meantime, let's just simply add this model, okay? Now the next step is we've added this model, all right, but we have not told this as an, okay, what is it that I'm expecting from you, right? So it's like you hired a person in your company or in a specific organization, and you're not telling that person, okay, do this, right? What are your roles and responsibilities, or on what information you have to act on, right? So that is why you have to define, okay, act like this. You take this information, process it like this, give me the output like this, right? So that is where we're going to kind of define the prompt, right? So by default, it'll give you this chat trigger node, right? But I'm going to use this custom define below node, and I'm going to use the prompt, which I already have. I'll just copy paste from my previous agent, and I'll just drop it here. Okay. How many of you want to build it along with me? You can say yes in the chat. I will give you this prompt as well. You can just quickly try it if it works for you. You want to access the prompt? All right, interesting. All right, I've just added this prompt in the chat. Right, you can just simply copy paste it for now. Let's not understand it, but I'll explain it what this prompt does as well. All right, so whoever wants to, okay, Akshat Verma. Okay. You have to do is like, actually, can you take this prompt, put it here, right? Okay. This is an stock analysis AI agent, and I would want an email HTML output, because you would have noticed that I would have gotten a beautiful outputs as well, right? So I'll show you some of these as well. Yeah, one of the way I've got this kind of HTML format, right? Another HTML format. This was not the one. This was the very basic one. Yeah, this is like, so you can get different formats as well if you want to, right? So let's come back here. So what this does is like, okay, you are a stock analysis AI agent that analyzes a stock and returns a single email ready HTML document. Okay, so this is like I'm defining the boundaries. No matter what, don't do this. All right. Now, this is something I'll just quickly remove. This input is something. This is something I'm getting from the Google Sheet, right? So let's say I don't. You might be thinking, okay, well, how these green ticks are coming in, right? So I'll quickly delete one. this is something I'm getting from my Google sheet, right? So all the output of the previous nodes, you'll see the left of this box, right? So what you have to do is like just drag and drop, right? So here we want to give the stock ticker, right? So I'll just quickly do the drag and drop, and this stock ticker would be, and you can also see the output as well, at the right side of the window, right? And now you can see that, okay, parse inputs as numbers where applicable, compute breakdown. So basically, I've defined, these parameters, right? On these parameters, you decide what to do, whether you want to kind of, hold the stock or whether it's unprofitable, right? All these conditions I've already defined. In real life, I think you work with a lot more information with simple maths, but this is something I have taken this math from Warren Buffett's, I think, fundamental investing, and have just done that, put that entire logic in this text format, right? And okay, once I have done this, right, then I'm informing, okay, let's now talk about the output format. And I would want to give me the HTML output as well. I'll show you why. I can change the width from here, all those things I can do, right? Head over stock ticker, and I just added that whenever you're sending this mail, add today's date as well. How can you add today's date? Delete this. Just click on this, uh, parenthesis, or I don't know what's the name of this bracket, I think middle bracket, right? And it'll give you some functions which Anitin already had, and you'll get these options, and then click on drop down, right? And you'll already get this, right? And yeah, this is where you'll get the output. I've already defined certain constraints, right? Now, what I have to do is simply just run this agent, right? Let's simply run this agent. Let's see that if it's able to act on all this information. So all these cycles that you are seeing running, it is telling you, okay, your workflow is right now in which specific node, right? So let it work. Vishwas, we are using Anitin to build it. All right, I think our output is done, and then we can click on the agent. Okay, this is the output that we've got, which is like, yeah, totally ununderstandable, because yeah, it's like not an, I would say, text format. I could have also got this text format, but you want to receive it on a mail, right? And you don't want to have a cluttered output on the mail, right? So we'll try to read it. Okay, now the entire work is done, right? Next, what do you want to do, right? You want to send this entire output to a mail, right? So what I'm going to do is like the next action is going to be connecting it with a mail, right? So I've just connected with it. Now what action I want to do is like, let's say, send a message. Here, you could also probably have mail triggers as well, right? So you don't have to do that. I'm just letting you know that probably around different nodes, you can use them as trigger as well. All right, so let me quickly see if I'm missing anything. No, I think we're good. Okay, we just have to draft a fresh message, and this is something we're going to select on, right? So we have this mail, and now I'm going to connect it with my account, right? So how can you connect it with your account? Very simple, the same way you have connected and added your Google Sheet, right? Click on create new credential. Here you'll be at this stage, right? And it'll take you to this Gmail login screen. You can probably allow it to access it and all, right? And it'll give you connection successful. Then you'll be back on the screen, right? But my account is already connected, so I'll just use the old one. Second is like a resource, right? So do you want to like, send this as a mail, or do you want to kind of create some kind of a label and all, right? So there are different options available. What operation do you want to perform? You want to send the message, right? Or do you want to delete it, right? So there are different type of operations you can perform. Right now, we want to send this entire agent output to the kind of mail, right, that we've looked into. Two is like whom you want to send it. Right now, I have not configured this as the dynamic output. So for now, I'm just going to write my mail ID. So let me just type it in. All right, subject, let's say, let me add this custom subject as daily stock recommendations, right? And since you see that my output is HTML, right? So if I just let's send this HTML output, right? And let's see what you get, right? And now everything is set up. I'll just go ahead and send this, right? If I go ahead and view my mail. Okay, just give me 1 second. I think I have selected, okay. Yeah, I've selected HTML only, right? So in HTML, it'll give me the proper mail, right? So this is the stock analysis that I've just received. It's like 6:47 right now, and you could see that it's 0 minutes ago, right? So it gave me like beautiful template, and yeah, this is how it looks like, right? And let's say if you're not selecting this HTML, let's say we're selecting as a text, right? And let's see this here. You can make this change in email type, right? So if I, because this is a HTML output, right? So if you tell your mail, the output is an HTML format, it'll give you beautiful kind of presented mail as well. If you just want to receive the text as it is, you can just select the text as an email type, right? And then let's execute the mail. Let's see what do we get in the mail now. Just give me 1 second. I have received it. Yeah, this is the mail that you get. And good luck understanding it, right? So yeah, I hope this does not make sense to others, right? So if you select the HTML, it depends like, how do you want to get the output of the agent and all, right? So this is what it looks like, right? So, and now what we can do is like, we can run this entire flow from scratch, all right? And we are here, we have created this very basic stock analysis agent. We can definitely add it like a lot of capabilities wherein we can connect it with probably stock specific websites, screeners to get the information and all, right? So it depends on like, to what extent you want to go deep to it, right? Now we can try with any new stocks you want to try. So we'll talk about all the courses and all. Okay, Karthik, you have to probably look into the recording. I'm trying to explain note by note, right? Okay. Now, how many of you were able to build along with me? Don't worry. We're going to basically take 5 minutes of Q&A break, right? Anyone has any questions around building this, I will try helping you out, right? So don't worry. All right. So what you can do, basically, you can write kind of your queries in the chat, and I'll try taking it one by one. If you want me to now do again with this agent, kind of any specific, let's say, stock analysis, right? I can do it, right? So folks, like in this 2 hour session, building node by node parallelly would not be possible, right? But can you start again? Wow, I think recording would be a great way, Aisha, to look into it. So yeah, please write everyone in the your queries in the chat, right? I will also try to re-explain the entire flow again as well, right? Awesome. Why does the model give a recommendation as hold now compared to buy earlier for the same stock? Yeah, you can definitely reason it. It is basically trying to act on the information that we are sharing. Awesome. What was the message you added in the Gmail node in the last? Okay, let's go here in the Gmail node, right? The message is the output of an AI agent, right? So I simply dragged and dropped this here. All right. Okay, great. All right, now let me see other questions. How to trigger this agent automatically? Automatically, okay. You just so you can basically have a sheet with all your stock informations, right? And what you can do is like you can schedule a trigger, right? So instead of this Google Sheet as a trigger, you can click here. You can add schedule. So this basically trigger would run at like, you can also decide every day. It runs like between days, and you can also set up a time as well, right? So it runs every day, what, like 9 a.m 8 a.m, right? So you can also set up different triggers, right? Depends on your use cases. System message I have already copy pasted in the chat for everyone, right? I'll again do it for whoever was looking for this. Why we have not get the proper HTML view? Something you can probably just check in your Gmail node, right? There would be a field called email type, right? See if there's a text selected, right? You have to select, kind of HTML instead of a text. It should work then. Okay, Saransh. All right. Folks will wait for 1 or 2 more minutes. We'll go slow. Yeah, we will go slow. Give me 1 second. Instead of sheets, the user should ask stock with, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, right? You can also create a front end. You can also integrate it with, your Telegram bot that you could create, right? And you're just sharing the stock information from a Telegram, and it's just like acting on it, right? So there are like different versions of it. You can probably connect it with that. Does Google Sheet trigger immediately? Yes, trigger initially. Client ID and all, I think, how would you get it? You will get it from here. I'll share the link in the chat, Varun. All these things in a detailed, I think, line by line explanation way, we'll be sharing the detailed guide as well. So stay till the end of the session. I'll explain you that as well. Please show what you've added in the, I've already shared it in the chat, Mahek. Instead of sheets, the user should ask. Okay, thank you for that. Sarthak, I have reverted to your queries. All right, I guess I have reverted to all the queries, but since we have 1 more minute of Q&As, if anyone still have a query, you can please ask again. Are there any platforms that companies would use that provide the same functionality? Yeah, there are Zapier, there's make.com, there are like a lot of other platforms are also there. Otherwise, when you don't have these platforms, you can also, probably I've shown you, right? This agent that we have kind of built it together, right? So you can build this code specific agents, right? Wherein you could create your entire GitHub repository and everything, right? So you can, I think these are the type of agents that, this is the type of knowledge which will really help you crack AIPM rules end to end, right? So we'll look into that. I can, yeah. All right, Lizer, yeah, it's also a good platform. Lizer, they're really building up, in an awesome way. I think have added a lot of capabilities as well. So you can definitely try Lizer as well. Relevance is also one of the platform, but these are like too surface level. In fact, GPT also have recently launched agent stack, right? So you can also use it. But these are like super good for personal uses. For org, you just have to see like which type of companies you're into. Are they allowing these like open source ecosystems? We can also configure, yeah, you can configure Mohan anything. Do you want me to send this message in this Telegram? Do you want me to tell you this? How can you send it to Telegram? But I think we'll probably do it in the guide. It'll take a lot of other time, right? Awesome. So folks, this is where we have built our first agent, right? And now what we could do is like we can start going and doing that video to stock analysis agent. Okay, right. Anyone who wants to talk, now we're going to build another agent, which is about like you can really have any specific video and then you can convert that video to transcript to blog and then send it to kind of your specific mails, right? So we're going to now look into a agent which will help us generate blog content from videos, right? If you're let's say someone who really works very close with a growth team or a marketing team, right? So video content is like one source, but you can also ask it to kind of scrape like a lot of relevant or trending sources as well to build or give you trending content every day in the morning before you publish something which you've already planned, right? So let's get to it. Now, let me share my screen and I'll go ahead, click on this create workflow. And now I'm going to video to blog generator, right? Now in this one, we are going to take proper, I would say node wise breaks so that everyone is able to build with me, right? So yeah, and I will take proper breaks. So don't worry. Just follow each and everything that what I'm saying and doing along with you folks, right? And I'll ensure everyone is able to do it, right? Okay, awesome. So just give me 1 second. All right, and let me give it a different name. Let's say the bootcamp. All right, now, so what we are going to do now in this, we're going to kind of, set a trigger, right? So in this case, let's have a manual trigger, right? You just click on this plus and you'll have this first as a trigger. So click on this and that's it. You just have to do this, nothing more. I'll just take a 10 seconds pause so that everyone is able to do it with me. And if you're able to follow with me, you can quickly write yes as well in the chat so that I know that you're able to follow and I understand. I can move to the next node now. Awesome. This was quite easy. Thanks, Shruti. I'm expecting a lot. Many other folks are also building along with me. Okay, guys, thank you. All right. Now, what is next, right? You have initiated this workflow. This is going to be triggered when you click here or you click here, right? Next is you want to convert something from video and you want to send something to a mail, right? So what you would want is kind of a way wherein you can take the input of these fields, right? So for that, what we're going to do is like we're going to click on plus and we're going to look on set variables, right? Edit fields. So click on what happens next, click on this, and this would open, and don't do anything here. Just click on add field here and add one more field. Okay, so the first field name is going to be video YouTube URL. So I'm just going to copy paste this, and the next one is going to be mail, right? So I'm just yeah, I'm going to hold here. You take 2 seconds time, 10 seconds time, fill all these details. Yeah, if anyone is facing any issues, you write in the chat. We're going to take all the required time. I think we have enough time. We'll be able to build this agent end to end with all of you. Yeah, right. Everyone's with me. After trigger step, please. I didn't see where you clicked. Okay, I'll just go back and okay, simple. I have clicked on the big plus, and when you do that, okay, not from here. Let me delete this. Okay, let's start. I've clicked here and I've clicked here, right? This, and the next node is click on this plus, not this plus. You can also click here, but then you have to connect the nodes, right? So if you click here, you get this field. You click on set, basically to create the fields, right? And after this, you basically reach to the screen, right? Here you're going to add two fields. I think the last one was recipient email address. That this one was video YouTube URL, right? So I'm going to add this, right? Now these are the kind of variables we're creating, and we also have to add the value here. So right now I'm going to add this YouTube video, which I already have. The one that I am using, I'm sharing the link in the chat with everyone. You can also use a similar video, right? And in the mail, you can write your mail IDs, right? I need the go ahead from everyone that we have done till this step, and then we can move to the next one. Yes, right. Awesome. Now do one more thing, everyone. Go to this URL, which I'm sharing in the chat. Finish the sign up fast, because this is the website that we're going to use to convert our YouTube video to transcript, right? So click on this URL, right? It'll ask you to sign up. Quickly finish the sign up and let me know with yes or no in the chat. It'll give you a lot of like, I think around 250 API requests that you can trigger. All right. Okay, so you have to be with me, right? Okay, I'm sure everyone is able to do it. If you're not able to do it, I'll give you my API keys that you can try. Challenge with my API keys, I have only 54 credits available. If only 20% of you use it, I'll not be able to finish the session. So that's why I've shared you this. Done, right? And once you've done the sign up, YouTube URL, you can pick any YouTube URL. It doesn't matter, right? I'm just sharing again. All right. Yeah. Again, I'm sure everyone has gone to this dumplingai.com/API keys, finish the sign up and go to this URL, right? And all right, don't do right now anything here. Okay. I'll tell you what to do. I think you'll land onto this page, right? Don't do anything here right now. I'll tell you what to do when, right? In the meantime, I'll just expecting you to kind of, okay, now this is created, right? Now we have something to start our workflow, and then we have the input fields as well, right? Now, next, what we're going to do is like, we're going to trigger an API request, right? And I'm sure everyone understand what API request is. API request is something which is going to help us send our YouTube video URL to this server of Dumpling AI, right? And this server is going to convert this video to transcript and give us a transcript back, right? So this is what we're going to do. So how to do it? I'll go ahead again, click on this plus, type here HTTP request, HTTP request, right? Then click on this. That's it. And go back. I'll tell you how to set this up. Sign up for anything, doesn't matter. It's like an onboarding process. All right. So first is you just click on that big plus. You just add the first field manual. Okay, I'll just probably do this. Click on this. Okay. And once you've done this, then click on again this plus. Okay, this plus wherein you would get the set field, right? So once you click on this, you'll get a field like this. And here you can add a whatever string name you want to give. You can give any name that you would want to add that YouTube URL that you want to convert to a blog. And here you can convert it to a basically give you a mail ID on which you would want that mail, right? So this is the step. Next is we want to send this URL to some server or some services which would help us give the transcript of this content, right? That's what we're going to do. So here, okay, folks, quick disclaimer. If you don't understand what API is, how they work and all, right? So don't worry. If you don't understand it, what you can do is simply follow exactly what we are doing, what I'm doing here. You'll be able to do really fine in terms of converting it, right? Awesome. Double click on this HTTP. Okay. And now select a method post. Okay. So by default, the get method was selected. So get is basically used when you want to just simply retrieve the information from somewhere, right? Post is something when you want to insert a data and you would want some sort of systems to act on it, right? So we're going to use a post method, right? This is an endpoint, right? This is a location to which we have to send this YouTube video URL. All right. So what we're going to do now here is I'm going to give you this endpoint. Give me 1 second. I'm going to add this endpoint in the chat as well. So I've added here and I'll give this endpoint to in this, right? Okay. So once you get this endpoint, which I've already shared in the chat, you have to click on basically paste it here in authentication, because I have this blog which exactly explain, right? How can I use this AI, basically APIs to convert video to, this. And here it is basically telling me everything about authentication as well, right? Wherein it would require bearer basically authentication, right? Or authorization. So I'll go back here. I'll click on authentication, right? And I'll click on generic credential type. Within this, we're going to select bearer auth, right? That's it. And quickly tell me everyone if you're able to reach to this stage in the chat. I'll take a pause here. Done, right? Oh, that's great. You all are fast, right? We'll talk about bearer auth account. We'll talk about Aditya. All right. Now, what you can do is now go to this page. Okay. Go here. I'm sure everyone was able to sign up to this. Quickly say yes or no in the chat if you were able to sign up to this page. Quickly, I just need to understand. I'll tell you, Mike, don't worry. Right. Yes, yes, yes. Sign up was complete, right? Awesome. So now here you would see this button here, right? Find this generate new secret API key. Click on this. Give it some name. Okay, let me give it V2B generator. Yeah, okay, that's quick. Good. Okay, now, and it'll give you this API key. Copy this, right? Because if you don't copy it from here, you'll not be able to create it again. You'll have to basically you'll not be able to copy it again. You'll have to create a new one, right? Just click on this. It'll give you this copy to clipboard, right? Now, go to this N8N flow. We were on the screen, which you already have confirmed. Now we'll have to do bearer authentication as well, right? So click this. Similarly, we have added Google account, OpenAI, everything works really better and in a similar way here, right? So click on this, create new credential, right? And add your this API key, which you have connected and click on save, right? Do this and confirm in the chat if you're able to do it. I'm waiting for fresh. Yes. No, I can't provide my API key. I've told you how can you generate yours. It's free, right? Anyone can create it. I could have given, but I'll almost show you as well, right? I don't know how many runs I have to do now. I have only 54 credits left. If I give it to you, I'm not sure I'll be able to guide everyone in the session. So that's the reason. Otherwise, I generally share my keys, at least in the session. So yeah, once you've done that, your authentication, your auth token is fine. This is done. So what we are basically doing, we're kind of simulating a Postman environment wherein we are learning parallelly to hit APIs as well, right? So yeah. Link doesn't work. No, it won't. This won't work, right? This is an endpoint, right? So you have to use it in the HTTP request, right? You have to click it here in the URL. It might not work. It would not be returning back anything in the front end. You have to add it here in the URL section. The link that I asked you to click on is this. Everyone was able to add bearer auth account. I don't know. I need confirmation. Otherwise, I can quickly wrap up and finish it like in 15 minutes. But it's about you doing it. You also feeling that when, okay, I've created some important agent, but I need some participation in the chat, folks. All right, awesome. I think we'll move next. Okay. Now, once you have basically done the authorization, authentication, everything, now you can also click on hitting this, right? But now imagine this, in this information, in this URL, we have nowhere shared our YouTube video URL, right? So if we have not shared it, how would this API know which YouTube video URL to act upon, right? So that is why we have to send our YouTube video URL as well, right? And how can we send it? We can send it as part of the body, right? So here, just go ahead, enable this body. Okay. That's it. Very simple. You have to do. If you know how to do coding, you can also add your key value pairs here as well. But since we are no code, right? Yeah, that's what this generative AI ecosystem provides us, like the capability to, I think, almost everyone to be able to kind of build and launch something, right? So all I asked to all of you is just basically toggle this on, nothing more, right? And all of this would be kind of default. How do I get to know what to do here? Is something I got it from this blog. Got it? This is where I'm defining the body parameters, right? Only one parameter is required. If I don't share this video URL, then it would not work, because this is more of a required parameter for this API to work on, right? Other basically keys or these values you can also add, but I think they are not going to help us. So okay, now I'll just copy this from here and I'll just type it here in the video name, right? I'll just give it to you as well in the chat. Okay, why I have to use this exact kind of text that is written in this? Because this server is not going to understand our language, right? So but we have to understand the server's language, and we have to send the information in which it understands it really well, right? So that is where in this video URL I'm going to share the YouTube URL, right? And simply, I'm sure, okay, let me quickly see in the chat if everyone's with me. Okay, now go back. Okay, now here I'll go ahead, click on this execute previous notes. It is done. Once you click on this, you'll get the output of the previous notes. What I'll do is I'll simply drag and drop this here. Got it? Everyone is able to do this. This was a very critical node here. Give me confirmation if you're able to do it, then we'll move to the next step. Please repeat. Okay, what I've done is, okay, I have just, I'm sure everyone was with me till this. I've just enabled this, right? And here, once you do that, you'll scroll down, you will get this field here. You have to write this video URL, which I've already given in the chat, okay? And in the value field, you have to drag and drop this YouTube video URL. That's it. You don't have access to the credentials in the HTTP request. I think you might have entered the wrong tokens or information on it. Let me try if it's also giving me the same information. This is working for me. Okay, once everything is set, then you can click on as execute step, right? And here it'll give you the entire transcript. Let's wait for it to act on. Problem in HTTP node. Okay. Send body fields video URL. Dragged and dropped this. Okay, I think video URL parameter is required. Bad request. Please check your parameters. I think this, yeah, if the text video URL that is fixed, yes. Now you could see here, right? You could get all the transcript here, right? So whoever has, can you quickly confirm in the chat if you were able to get the, transcript after running or clicking on the execute step? Yes. Yes. To Shruti, what you can do is like you can try generating another API key and then try running it sometimes, and it also behaves badly. So you can click on save and then reload the entire screen, right? So save is here, click on this, right? And then reload the entire flow. I think the parameter that you showed, it looks correct only. Probably an API key issues, right? Everyone got it right? Awesome. Good to know that so many of you are trying parallelly. Okay. Now you've got the transcript. What do you want? You want to convert is to basically you want to convert this entire message to a blog, right? So that is where I've just simply searched OpenAI. Okay, I have clicked on this. What I need is a model, right? Text action, right? We want this model to take my text and give me a text, right? So I'll go back and explain again. Click on plus, click on open, search for OpenAI, and click this. And you know what to do. Text actions, right? Message a model. Select this. Got it? Everyone's with me on this? Everyone's with me, right? Awesome, interesting, thank you. Yeah, I'm sure you guys might have anyway done this, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect it with my account 22 was the account. Same way you can again add the new credential the way we have done it in the stock analyzer, right? And here text, here we can select the specific model. So I'm going to use ChatGPT 4.0 latest, and this is the prompt, right? So what my prompt is going to be, I'm going to take it from my resources and I'm going to share it to everyone. Okay. I'm sharing this prompt as well in the Teams chat for everyone. Okay, you can see that. Got it, right? Okay. Now, to all the folks who are like, let's say, once you try this couple more times, if you're creating multimodal agentic flows and all, right? You have got this video, right? If you think from a marketing professional's point of view, you also want to create this blog who's trying to optimize around certain keywords, right? Right now, I'm only passing this transcript as a message to this model, right? But along with this, I can also pass that, okay, give me the blog, and while you're generating the blog, try to incorporate these keywords as well in your content, right? So you can also give that as an input as well, right? So all those customizations you can do, but I'm just letting you know, because okay, this one activity to convert this transcript to a blog and image and then send it to a mail. It'll be really good if you know, okay, these are the keywords that I want to optimize my content on, right? So while you're generating the keyword, right, keep this keyword in mind and insert it at the right places, right? Awesome. So this is it. And here we have to define this as a system message, right? And I'm going to add probably have one more message. And this message is nothing but simply, going to be the prompt, right? So this prompt, sorry, this transcript, right? I've just added this here. This is going to be user message. All right. And okay, great. I'll just output this as a JSON. Okay. Now, quickly confirm if you all are able to do till this point.
Hi, Akhil. Sorry to unmute because I don't have the chat access. If you can repeat it because I missed the part from where you converted
That's
the
okay.
chat.
That is, you will anyway not be able to finish it because you don't have the prompt, right? You'll not be able to move beyond the stage, right? So
Is that understood?
okay, everyone's able to do this? Yes, yes, yes. Request node and yeah, well, video URL parameter is required. Body parameters. I think there's some probably API key issues. Aditya, we'll have to probably see it separately because it'll then take a lot of time to debug that. Now let's see what error Mahek is getting. Okay, okay. Okay, Mahek, before loading a model, you also have to connect to an API account, right? So you have to click on this specific piece and connect it with an account. All right. Okay. All right. So how many of you are able to do it along with me? You can select any model that you're comfortable with because here we are not going to LLM evaluations and all, right? So we are simply, okay, I'll just go ahead and just keep in mind this first prompt has to be system prompt, kind of wherein you're trying to define the role of the agent, right? And then your user messages has to be in the user prompt, right? And these drop downs would help you select this. And you can toggle all these on, simplify output and give output content as JSON, right? We need JSON because we need key value pairs because some of these pairs would be used in different ecosystem. Okay. Now, once I have this, I'll quickly click on execute step. All right, let it work. Oh, awesome. It worked, right? It gave us the blog image prompt. So this is the prompt that I'm going to use to generate images, right? And next is description. It gave me the description as well. Discover how to harness your brain's dopamine system to boost productivity. And this is the HTML content that it gave me. This is something I have to pass to my mail. And this has also given me a kind of a text space input as well. So I can use both of these to move further, right? So what I'm going to do now, once I have generated a text blog content, now I'll generate a image. So I'll simply follow the same process, click on OpenAI. Instead of message a model, I will click on image action, generate an image. So I'll click here. I'll use my same account that I was using earlier, 22. Okay. And image, generate an image. This is the model I'm going to use. And prompt is going to be this blog image prompt. Dragged and dropped it. Got it? And then clicked on execute step. Got it. Okay. I've got the image. Let's look into this image. Awesome. Yeah, it's like about that brain. Okay, so give it a different video, right? Okay. Now we have everything, right? What we want next is to send this output in a mail, right? So now I'll select the next node as mail, and I'll click on Gmail, right? And I will click over to send a message. This is send a message, right? And I'll select my account, right? So if you don't have the same way, create new credentials, go to this. This is something we have covered, right? Keep editing. Okay, close. I'll just go ahead, select my account. And yeah, we want to send a message. Operation is send to whom we want to send. You can click on schema, right? You remember in the second node, you've given your mail ID, right? So this is the mail ID I'm going to use to send to, right? So that I don't have to every time type it, right? So that whatever is being then passed as an input, right? Then that is something we're going to use it. All right. Now, okay. And what we're going to do now is subject, right? So we can use subject. Okay, this is messenger model, right? So our subject could be a title. So I'll just do a drag and drop here, right? Email type is HTML. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop this HTML content, right? Now you would want attachment as well, right? So you can click on add option and click on attachments, right? And I'll just simply click on add attachment, nothing more. You don't have to do. I just define this, the name. Name could be, let's say, what should all these are the big names. If I want to any short URL, name, let's say name is this YouTube video URL of this image, right? It'll be a text, let's see if this works or not, right? And I'll just simply execute this. Okay, which one is not working? Item, send a note. Okay, this one is not working. Let me have it as a text only. Okay, blog image. There has no binary field blog image. Okay, 1 second. Let me see where it is acting bad. All right, just give me 1 second. Let me see this if it's working without this. Okay, now I'll go ahead and click on this, click this. Now we'll try to send the mail. Yeah, now it worked. Awesome. Okay, now we can go to our mailbox and we can see this. You can see this. I've got two mails, one without image, one with image, right? So this is the how to reset your dopamine system. Look at the entire structure of the content, right? Literally, this is something could be also sent directly to all your users, right? And you also have your image as well, right? So yeah, this is how we can create end-to-end workflow to basically generate blog to, okay, you Varun wants to see my mail again. All right. Yeah. And this is probably by Gmail, wherein it's giving the summary as well. Now, if anyone of you wants to try it out, right? You can also kind of last two nodes. All right, last two nodes. This is about, okay, I've deleted it by mistake. Okay. These two nodes you're talking about, right? So once you have done this, you have to click on this, right? Okay, I'll just go ahead and do this fresh. Click on plus, search for OpenAI, right? Search for generate an image, right? And all this would be by default selected. You don't have to do anything. Just ensure that you have the right account selected. Okay, I have the right account selected. And this prompt, right? You see, this is an image model, right? So you also have to tell it that what do you want to build? And you already have this as a text as well, right? So it'll use this to build. It'll take this as an output and it'll give the image for this, right? And simply leave it like this, or you click on execute step. It'll then parallelly generate an image. Let it generate it. Then we'll go to the next node. Yeah, it gave the image. This time it's different. Now, next is Gmail, right? So you want to send this to the mail, right? So what you can do is click on send a message, right? And just do a correct account selection and operation, nothing you have to do here. Just go to this two and from here, click on this schema, right? Last node is generally, it's not collapse. Other nodes are, this is more of expanded version. So collapse this, click on this, collapse the node which has the more relevant information, right? Two is what, like this is means like to whom you want to send the message. Remember which node has this ID, right? This node, this detail was there in the second node, right? So you will just drag and drop this. Got it? Now this nodes, you can just collapse this, right? And you go to this messenger model, right? This has all the required information that you need, right? What is going to be the subject? Your subject is going to be the title. It's dragged and drop, right? You don't have to convert email type to text, right? If you want to convert, you can also do it because we also have a text version. So if you want to send the text version, let's say this time we are sending a text version, right? So, or you can also select an HTML version and drag and drop the HTML version, right? But right now I want to send the text version, see the difference in mail, right? You'll notice. Next, I want to send the attachment. I'll just click on this attachment and I'll just click on add attachment. That's it, right? And next, I don't want to receive this. Don't worry about this. Okay. Now I'll just go ahead and run this. Okay, let me only run this node because otherwise take all the API requests. Yeah, the mail was sent. Let's see how the mail is coming in. See, this is how the mail has come in. Right? So if you're using HTML versus text, right, it creates all the difference in terms of how your mail is structured. Got it? All right, awesome. So sorry for asking again. Can you please open the AI agent configuration again? Sure, Aditya. Where am I? AI agent, this one. Account selection. This is by default text. Messenger model. This operation I want to perform. This is a by default model selected. You can just click here. You'll get this. You can select anything. And this is the system message. Here you can click on role, right? And you can select the system one here. This detailed message prompt I've already given. Just copy paste this, right? And second is click on add a message. Then you'll see this field here. You just drag and drop this, select the right role, right? And toggle on for all these fields, and then execute the step.